St. Patrick's Day is a special day for me. A long time ago, my family immigrated to the U.S. from Ireland. St. Paddy's Day in Ireland is as important as Independence Day is in America. There's no work or school on that day. People wear pins and badges in the shape of a shamrock, and some pin a real shamrock to their clothing. Of course, everybody wears green. There are huge parades in nearly every town in Ireland. We have festivals and concerts, and the pubs are jam-packed. We didn't eat corned beef and cabbage. That's a U.S. thing. We ate loin of bacon and cabbage. St. Paddy's Day is steeped in tradition, culture, and heritage. One thing I don't miss about Ireland is the Dullahan. He's a headless horseman with a black cloak that rides a jet black horse with flaming eyes and hooves. He holds his glowing head high in the sky and looks for souls to take. If you look at him, he'll use his whip or throw a bucket of blood on you to blind you. The reason I know so much about the Dullahan is because I've seen him here in the United States recently. I'm guessing the legend follows you no matter where you go. Well, let me explain. Late one night, the day before St. Patrick's Day, when I was walking home from a bar, because I was way too fucked up to drive, I heard a horse galloping behind me. Nobody rides a horse anymore, so I turned to look. It was just darkness. I turned back and continued staggering along. Then I heard a horse snort. I turned again and still nothing there. I had heard of the Dullahan from my grandmother when I was a child, but it didn't dawn on me that that's what this was. I just assumed it's an old wives' tale folks told little kids to scare them. I was almost home and I heard the sound of galloping beating the ground. This time, when I turned around, I saw his glowing head bobbing up and down in the dark. And the horse's hooves seemed to be on fire. I still had about a quarter mile to go to get home, so I hid behind a tree. The rhythmic pounding got louder and louder. He went past the tree I was hiding behind and suddenly stopped. Ugh, the air smelled like rotting cheese. And all the night creatures got quiet. I peeked around the tree to see where he was. He was only about 20 feet away, looking for me with his decomposed, luminous head held up high like a lantern. His decaying flesh, what was left of it, smelled horrible. Even the horse seemed to be rotting, or it took a shit. I quietly waited for what felt like hours. Then he trotted away up the road toward my house. Now what do? I decided to wait for him to get past my house, then continue on. After about 10 minutes, I cautiously made my way back. I finally made it back home. However, as I was looking for the key to my door, I heard the sound of the fiery hooves again. I fumbled with the keys, just like in the old horror movies. As I opened the door, he was riding up my gravel driveway. I scrambled in, slammed the door, and locked it. I heard the hooves walking around on the wooden front porch. Still drunk, I fell over the couch trying to close all the curtains. Suddenly, all the lights in the house went out. I was alone in the dark. I scrambled around, looking for someplace to hide. I crept into the hall closet, slowly closed the door, and sat down with my knees up. I heard the door burst open. Then that evil laugh. It was so creepy. I trembled in fear. Tears welled up in my eyes. I heard the sound of heavy boots walking around my wood floor. I was petrified. I had no way of defending myself. If he finds me, that's it. Game over. I could hear him opening the doors and searching for me. I have a gun in my bedroom. If I can get there without him hearing me, at least I'll have a shot. I heard him moving around on the opposite side of the house, away from my bedroom. I slowly opened the door and looked around. All clear. I crept towards my bedroom. I was almost there when my gold bracelet my grandmother gave me got snagged on the bedroom doorknob. It broke and fell to the floor. When it hit, I heard him stomping quickly towards me. I closed the door and locked it and grabbed my gun by the bedside and hunkered down behind the bed and aimed it at the door. The heavy footsteps stopped just outside my bedroom. Right as I was about to mag dump his ass, he ran away. He got on his horse and GTFO'd into the darkness. What the fuck? I waited a few more minutes just to be sure before I opened the door. What made him run away like that? I thought I was toast. I opened the bedroom door and saw the gold bracelet laying on the floor. I picked it up and looked at it. It had an inscription on the underside I had never noticed before. It said, "Happy St. Patrick's Day, Nana." Oh, right! She had given it to me a few years back for St. Patrick's Day. She's passed on now. Needless to say, I had a hard time getting to sleep, but eventually passed out. The next day, by the time I woke up, it was 2 p.m., so I made some breakfast. I called my best friend Connor and told him what happened the night before. He excitedly said he needed to come over to talk. He comes over all the time, almost daily. A few hours later, he arrived. He said, "Dude, nobody survives an attack by the Dullahan unscathed. You're either blinded or it takes your soul, or both." I thought the Dullahan was just a legend. No, he's real, and he's 100% evil, but there is a way to ward him off. Gold. I asked, "Is there any way to kill him?" "No, he's an undead soldier. He can't be killed. He can only be driven away, and only for a little while. He'll eventually come back." "What do I do?" I asked. "Do you have anything made of gold?" I pulled the bracelet out of my pocket. "I've got a bracelet my grandmother gave me." "Excellent! Keep that with you at all times." Connor offered to stay with me that night. He wanted to see the Dullahan for himself. Oh boy. I hastily said, okay. Night came, along with my anxiety. I tried to show that I wasn't scared, but That was impossible. Connor kept looking out the window. We watched some TV, ate some pizza, and drank some Guinness. It started getting late, but I couldn't sleep. Connor was already asleep on the couch, the empty beer can still in his hand. Then I heard it. The clippity-clop of horses' hooves in the distance. I shook Connor. Connor! Connor! Get the fuck up! He's coming! He's coming! Where? Where? He's coming up the road fast! Connor parted the curtains and looked out. Holy shit! It is him! I looked over his shoulder. I could see the glow of the head in one hand and what looked like a whip made of a human spine in the other. The black steed's nostrils, eyes, and hooves were flaming like a blowtorch. It was terrifying. I stumbled over a chair and grabbed my gold bracelet on the coffee table. Then I heard the horseman yell. I quickly turned back around and heard the crack of his whip and the window shatter into pieces. Connor screamed, I can't see! My eyes! Blood poured between his fingers, covering his eyes. I made a move to pull him away from the window when suddenly he was yanked up and through the window. I approached the broken window, holding my bracelet in the air like a talisman. The Dullahan looked at me with his black eyes and roared. He rode away, dragging Connor with his whip. I could hear Connor pleading for his life as he was ripped away into the darkness. I called the police. They came out and investigated, but didn't find any evidence. The blood from Connor's eyes had completely disappeared. No hoof prints were on the driveway. I tried to tell them about the Dullahan, but they thought I'd made it up. They kept saying the story I was telling was the legend of Sleepy Hollow. Ironically, Sleepy Hollow was inspired from the Dullahan legend. It also didn't help that I was trying to explain Irish folklore on St. Patrick's Day. The police just chalked it up to being a prank, admonished me for wasting their time, and left. Typical. I guess the Dullahan was looking for Connor the first time I saw him. I don't know why he was looking for Connor. Did Connor piss off the Dullahan? Was it because Connor looked him in the eyes? Was it his time to die? And how did my bracelet get caught on a round doorknob and fall to the floor? Maybe I have a guardian angel, like my Nana. Who knows? All I know is I don't go anywhere without my Nana's gold bracelet. Oh, wait, before you go, I want to give you a Headless Horseman thank you for watching this far into my video. Y'all kick total ass, and you're inspiring me to do more each time, so I really appreciate it. Thank you. Well, that's about it for this one. And you know what? There was only one more thing to say. Stay creepy!